welcome back to the kitchen again this week. I really hope that you were able to try out the cookie recipe from last week and taste some delicious cookies. This week we are going to make some Easter cupcakes, but first I'd like you to go and wash your hands and put on your apron, and then we'll be ready to go. For our cupcakes today, you're going to need 100 grams of butter. You're going to need 150 grams of caster sugar. You're going to need 150 grams of self-raising flour. You're going to need 2 eggs. You're going to need about a tablespoon of cocoa powder along with 2 tablespoons of boiling water. You're going to need to have cupcake cases and mini eggs to decorate your cupcake. And you will need about 100 to 200 grams of icing sugar to make that nice chocolatey icing on the top. Great, now that we've got our hands washed, our aprons are on, and all our ingredients are measured out, ready for us to go, it is time to start baking. The first thing that you need to do is you need to put all your ingredients, the flour, the butter, the eggs, the sugar, into a bowl and mix it up. You can either do this with a wooden spoon like you did last week, or you can do it with an electric mixer. I'm going to do it with an electric mixer because it goes nice and quickly, but you decide using whatever you have at home. Once your cupcake batter is all mixed up and it is nice and light and airy, it is now time to line your cupcake tray with your cupcake cases. Once you have your tray lined with your cupcake cases and your batter is mixed, it is now time to scoop your cupcake batter into your cupcake cases. Now you may be wondering, well Jenny, why do you not have your cocoa powder mixed into your batter? Well, that is a good question. I've decided that I want to do half of my cupcakes plain and half of my cupcakes chocolatey. So once I've scooped the first half out into their cases, I will then mix in my cocoa powder afterwards so that I have half plain and half vanilla. But you can decide what you would like to do. To scoop your batter into your cupcake cases, I like to use an ice cream scoop. But if you don't have an ice cream scoop, you can just use a normal spoon and scrape it off with another spoon. A little top tip to keep your chocolate cupcakes nice and moist whenever they come out of the oven is mixing your cocoa powder with a little bit of boiling water. So with 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, I will use 1.5 tablespoons of boiling water, and then I just mix it up so that we get a nice paste like this. This will keep your chocolate brownies nice and moist inside for whenever they come out of the oven. When you're filling your cupcake cases up, make sure you don't fill them up too much. Make sure that you only fill them about 3/4 of the way up so they don't spill over the side when they are baking. Once your cupcake cases are filled up, they are ready to go in the oven. They will go into the oven at about 150 to 160 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. While you are waiting for your cupcakes to bake, you could be making your icing to go on top of them. In a bowl, you need to put 100 grams of butter, 225 grams of icing sugar, and if you want to make your icing nice and chocolatey, you could put a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons if you want it extra chocolatey of cocoa powder in there too. Once you've got your ingredients in your bowl, you need to mix it up with that electric mixer again, or you can use a wooden spoon. the timer goes off, your cupcakes are now ready to come out of the oven. Remember to ask an adult to help you to take them out as they will be very, very hot. Once they're out of the oven, leave them to cool before you put the icing on. When your cupcakes are eventually cooled down, it is now time to ice them. You can do that by using a teaspoon to dollop the icing on top of the cupcake and use the back of the spoon to spread it around, or you can use a piping bag. Once your cupcakes are nicely iced and decorated, it is now time to eat and enjoy them. It has been great baking with you again this week. Next week we are going to be baking again and we will be making some Malteser buns. Have a really, really great Easter and I'll see you next week.